Archangel Michael says, there was a divine fingerprint on that meeting, something far beyond random coincidence. You didn't just stumble across them, you were placed, like a key, into a specific moment of time. Tonight, the truth behind this connection is unraveling, and once you hear it, everything inside you will shift. That day, the air felt different. You may not have noticed the subtle signs, the strange silence, the way your heart suddenly raced, or how the world slowed down for a second. It wasn't chance, it was a doorway opening, one only your spirit could step through. They came into your life not to fill space, but to activate purpose. The moment they looked at you, a timeline locked away for years began to tremble. Not even they knew the weight they carried when they first called your name. You've replayed that moment over and over, wondering why they appeared just then and not sooner or later. But what you don't know is, if it had been earlier, you wouldn't have been ready, and if it had been later, it would have been too late. There is precision in God's hands, and He drew your names in the same hourglass. Type Amen to get blessing 333. There are forces watching you that hoped you'd never meet this person. Because they carried a message, a spark, a truth meant only for your soul. But interference tried to distract, mislead, and confuse you away from it. Archangel Michael says, your steps were being calculated from the moment you were born, leading up to that single encounter. This wasn't just someone passing by. This was a soul with the ability to unlock ancient knowing in you. They are the reason your dreams changed after that week. Suddenly, you started seeing visions, feeling emotions that didn't make sense, sensing people before they called. Because when they came, they awakened the part of you that had been asleep for far too long. You are not crazy, and you're not imagining these signals. Their energy collided with yours, and your spiritual DNA responded. What's happening now isn't chaos, it's alignment, and it's not done yet. Type Amen to get blessing 841. The reason you've been feeling restless, the reason their face won't leave your thoughts, is because the truth they carry hasn't been fully delivered. There is something they're withholding, something burning inside them that is getting harder to keep hidden. They've cried alone, writing a message to you they never had the courage to send. They wonder if you already know. They wonder if somehow, spiritually, you heard them without needing to speak. And deep inside, you did. There's a war between their logic and their soul right now. Logic tells them it's risky, but their soul is screaming that time is running out. And tonight, something will finally tip the scale. This connection may have paused, but it was never broken. Even in silence, your energies remain tethered. And soon, their silence will crack like glass. And the truth will pour out. Type Amen to get blessing 902. They were sent to give you a piece of yourself you didn't know was missing. They were a carrier of divine memory, planted in human form. When you met, a download began, slowly unlocking everything you buried to survive. You've started remembering things, how your heart used to beat differently, how you used to trust the stars. You've started waking up at odd hours, as if someone is calling your spirit. That's not random. That's their soul reaching for yours. They are not free from struggle either. In fact, they are tangled in a battle that was never meant to be theirs. But they picked it up because of you, because somewhere inside they know they were meant to protect you. But what they don't know is that the very act of hiding the truth is what's hurting you most. They want to fix it, but they're terrified it's too late. Still, something is about to push them into a moment of pure vulnerability. Type Amen to get blessing 1190. You will receive a sign very soon. It might come as a name, a flash in a dream, or a sudden, unexplained knowing. You won't question it, you will just feel it deep in your bones. This is not about romance or friendship, this is about purpose. They were allowed into your world to ignite something ancient in your lineage. Your ancestors whispered when you crossed paths with this person. They knew the two of you were carrying something bigger than yourselves. Your coming together was supposed to activate a ripple that shifts timelines. But someone tried to interfere, tried to stop the awakening before it could unfold. There is a reason you've faced more spiritual resistance since meeting them. There is a reason for the attacks on your peace, the strange fatigue, the moments of doubt. Because your light together is more dangerous to darkness than you realize. Type Amen to get blessing 1444. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Archangel Michael says, no matter how broken this may look right now, it's not over. There's a truth hidden in the folds of their silence, and tonight, the veil begins to tear. You must remain grounded because you will feel a strong energetic shift. They will remember you at an unusual hour. They will scroll back to your messages, your voice, your words. And something will trigger a storm of emotion that can't be stopped. Their spirit has been haunted by what they left unsaid. They've tried to bury it in busyness, in distractions, in people who don't carry your soul print. But nothing fits, and now the weight of what they've hidden is growing too heavy. There is a divine intervention lining up behind the scenes. Expect something sudden, an interruption, a confession, or a powerful dream. It's not coincidence. It's spiritual order reclaiming its position. Type Amen to get blessing 1501. Don't ignore your intuition now. If you feel them thinking of you, they are. If your heart aches out of nowhere, it's because their energy is knocking on your frequency. Tonight holds a mirror for them. And what they'll see will shatter their ego and leave only truth behind. And when that truth emerges, it will crawl straight into your reality. They once said too little or left too soon. But the moment they reconnect, everything unsaid will flood like lightning. You may not even need them to speak, their presence will say it all. You are not delusional for feeling something powerful when you met. You are not wrong for holding on to the bond in silence. Because some connections are written with soul, not circumstance. Type Amen to get blessing 1888. They didn't come to make your life easy. They came to awaken the parts of you that needed to rise. That kind of connection will always come with fire, friction, and divine interruption. The world may have tried to label it, define it, or distract you from it. But the truth has never stopped humming beneath the noise. And now, it's becoming impossible to ignore. They are being spiritually convicted in this hour. Every attempt to suppress their feelings is turning into a lesson. And the deeper they resist, the more their peace evaporates. Soon, you will feel a shift in the wind. It will be as if your spirit just took a breath it's been holding for years. And when that breath escapes, so will the truth. Type Amen to get blessing 2100. You were never meant to walk away without understanding. And the understanding is coming like a divine flood, unstoppable and full of grace. Because God doesn't write stories that end in confusion, only stories that evolve through revelation. Prepare your heart, because this person's next action will come from a place of soul, not mind. They're ready to surrender the lie they've been living in silence. And in that moment, everything they've hidden from you will be exposed in divine light. You are chosen to receive this truth. Not just because of who you are, but because of who you've become since they entered your life. You are no longer the same. You carry power now. And they feel it. They feel you rising. And their spirit is screaming to catch up. Type Amen to get blessing 2444. Tonight, a window opens in the spirit. Everything that was held back is rushing toward you. And when it reaches you, it won't just explain the past, it will rewrite your future. The one you met was no accident. That moment was sacred. And the truth behind it has been waiting for this very hour to be revealed. Watch the signs. Trust the stirring in your soul. The truth is coming, and it was always meant for you. Type Amen to get blessing 2777. You may feel heat in your chest tonight or get chills down your spine with no wind around. That is not the atmosphere. It is spirit recognizing prophecy aligning with your timeline. A part of your soul already knows what's coming, and it's preparing you in silence. The person God allowed you to meet carries both your reflection and your contrast. That's why they triggered you, challenged you, and stirred emotions so intense you couldn't hide them. You didn't imagine their impact. They were sent to awaken dormant power inside you. Every time you tried to move on, you felt an invisible thread pulling you back. Not out of obsession, but out of sacred unfinished business. Because when heaven sends someone with your name in their assignment, it doesn't end in confusion, it ends in truth. They are closer than you think, mentally and emotionally. You might feel them pull away physically, but spiritually they're circling you every hour. And God is about to remove the veil that separates clarity from chaos. Type Amen to get blessing 3110. They are about to have a breakdown, but it will be their breakthrough. And from that storm will rise a voice they buried, finally ready to speak. When they reach out, they may not have the perfect words, but their energy will carry undeniable truth. Archangel Michael says, "Your angels have been working overtime to protect this divine link. They've fought off distractions, illusions, and sabotage disguised as normal life. And now, the spiritual resistance is losing its grip. There's a reason you've been called to isolation lately. Your soul needed silence to listen, not noise to drown in. And now that you're hearing, the message is clearer, prepare to receive. You may notice lights flickering, electronics acting strange, or repeating numbers around you. These are not coincidences. They are divine signals, urging your spirit to remain open for the moment of revelation. Type Amen to get blessing 3342. Someone close to them knows about you and is secretly intimidated. They can sense your connection even if it's unspoken. Because your name lingers in their energy like smoke that refuses to fade. You carry spiritual authority, and it frightens anyone trying to control the outcome. But what's destined cannot be stopped, only delayed. And the delay has reached its breaking point. Their soul has grown weary from holding back. Every part of them wants to collapse into the truth and stop pretending. Because what they carry for you was never meant to be silent. They tried to date others, talk to others, even convince themselves you were just a lesson. But their spirit never allowed peace to bloom in that lie. And soon, they will surrender to the whisper that's been growing louder: go back and finish what you started. Type Amen to get blessing 3571. You weren't wrong when you felt magic in their presence. You weren't naive for thinking it was divine. Because something ancient in your soul stirred the very moment they entered your orbit. There are past life chords wrapped in this meeting. Things unresolved, promises made long ago, tears cried under different stars. This lifetime was meant to close the circle and restore what was broken before. You didn't choose them out of loneliness. You recognized them out of knowing. And that recognition is the language of soul memory. They've dreamed of you, heard your voice when no one was speaking, felt you during moments of silence. They've dismissed it, but it keeps returning, stronger each time. Tonight, they will feel it again. And this time, they won't ignore it. Type Amen to get blessing 4004. They will open your old photo. And for the first time, they won't just look, they will see. See the person who changed everything without trying. They were told to stay away from you, perhaps by family, friends, or even their own fear. But what they're about to realize is that they can't unsee you. No distraction, no logic, no silence will ever erase your imprint on their spirit. The world may say this is over, but heaven says this is just the middle. And you will not be left without closure. Because when God ordains a connection, He finishes what He starts. The conversation they never had with you is burning their throat. It will rise as a lump in their chest tonight. And when it releases, it will carry freedom, tears, and truth. Type Amen to get blessing 4212. Be alert for strange dreams over the next few nights. You may see their face, or hear their voice saying something you never imagined. These are not hallucinations, these are spiritual previews of what's manifesting. You will begin to feel lighter soon. As if a burden you didn't realize you were carrying has finally dropped. Because when truth is released, healing rushes in like a flood. You didn't meet them because of karma or punishment. You met them because of timing, activation, and destiny. And that divine purpose is about to become visible. There may be emotions, tears, confusion, trembling. But don't resist them. They are not weakness. They are release codes, freeing what has been trapped inside for too long. Type Amen to get blessing 4333. The revelation may not come in the way you expect. It could be through a third party, a post, or a message you didn't anticipate. But you'll know it's divine because your spirit will recognize the vibration. You'll feel a sudden stillness. A breath between seconds. A moment where heaven leans in and delivers exactly what was promised. Don't doubt what you feel in your body. The chills, the pressure on your forehead, the flickering around your vision. These are signs you are standing in the thin place where heaven meets earth. Archangel Michael says, "This is not the end, it is the turning point." And after tonight, the energy between you and this person will shift. What was once stuck will begin to move again. Type Amen to get blessing 4490. Expect restoration. Expect alignment. Expect divine communication that confirms everything you suspected but couldn't prove. You've been faithful, patient, and spiritually aware through every delay. And now your reward is arriving, not in chaos, but in clarity. The person God placed in your life didn't disappear, they were detoured. But that detour ends now. Their journey is leading them back to the very place their soul felt most at peace, near you. Not because of comfort, but because of truth. And the truth is, they were never meant to be anywhere else. They can no longer pretend. And neither can you. Type Amen to get blessing 4666. You may feel emotional without knowing why. A memory might surface from nowhere, or a scent might remind you of a moment you didn't even think mattered. These are all part of the divine sequence. Your spirit is preparing to embrace what's long overdue. Tonight is a mirror. Whatever has been hidden in the shadows is about to reflect clearly in the light. And what you'll see will not only make sense, it will finally bring you peace. You were never meant to beg for answers. You were meant to receive what's yours in divine timing. And now, that timing is collapsing into the present moment. They will feel overwhelmed. They will feel exposed. But they will no longer be able to lie to themselves about what they feel for you. Type Amen to get blessing 4880. There's a letter, physical or digital, that may be sent or written soon. They've thought about it 1,000 times, but this time they won't delete it. Because the weight of unspoken truth has become heavier than the fear of rejection. Their fingers will tremble as they type your name. They may hesitate, pause, rewrite, but eventually, the message will leave them. And you'll read it not just with your eyes, but with your soul. Don't rush to respond. Let the truth breathe. Let the energy around it settle, so you can absorb every line for what it truly is, a spiritual confession. Archangel Michael says, this conversation is heaven-approved. It may not look like a fairy tale, but it will feel like home. And in that familiarity, healing will rush in like warm light. Type Amen to get blessing 4991. Everything you went through has led to this unveiling. All the pain, confusion, signs, and delays were just preparation for this moment of reckoning. And it won't just change your relationship, it will shift your life. Because once the truth comes, you'll be free. Free from doubt. Free from emotional limbo. Free from wondering what could have been. You'll finally know. You'll know they saw you. You'll know they loved you, even if they couldn't show it the way you deserved. But now, something bigger than them is guiding them. And this time, they're listening. Because the whisper has turned into a divine command they can no longer ignore. Type Amen to get blessing 5111. There is still healing ahead. This isn't the end of your journey. It's the realignment of your original path. And from here forward, you'll walk with eyes that see and a heart that knows. God didn't let you meet them by accident. That moment was sealed before you were born. And now, it's time to reclaim what was written before the world interfered. Let go of what you thought it would look like. Let go of the expectations and the fear. Because what's coming is not what you imagined, it's greater. You are about to witness what happens when heaven interrupts earth. When the divine overrides human hesitation. When souls finally speak, and the truth finds its home. Type Amen to get blessing 5222. In the coming days, stay sensitive. Messages may come in ways that seem small, a voice note, a glance, a song. But if you listen closely, you'll realize they're actually answers. You've cried for clarity. You've begged for peace. Now both are rushing toward you in the form of a person who finally sees clearly. They may not know how to fix what was broken. But they are ready to try, and that is the doorway God needed open. Not perfection, just permission. And because that permission is now active, the restoration can begin. Piece by piece, memory by memory, word by word. The light will return. Type Amen to get blessing 5404. You are not being tested anymore. You are being delivered. And what's coming is the reward for your patience, your belief, and your heart's purity. The person who once ran away is circling back, not as who they were, but as who they've become. Changed. Humbled. Spiritually shaken. Because loving you awakened their higher self, and now, they can no longer unsee the truth. Don't brace for pain, brace for divine fulfillment. It may arrive quietly, but it will echo in your soul forever. Because once truth is spoken, it cannot be silenced again. They will stand before you, not with ego, but with honor. Not to fix the past, but to claim the future. And in that moment, you will remember why God never let you forget them. Type Amen to get blessing 5555. And finally, when your eyes meet again, weave. Inside. Type Amen to get blessing 5777.